Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's the second half of the 2024 Chiang Mai Open, round number 2. They're playing at Lanna Rocks Garden, and Shasta Criss off to a very hot start here in the second round. He's joined by Trevor Harbolt, along with Teemu Jönkkäri and Thailand's own Pichet Panturat. Beautiful setting on a Saturday afternoon. Well, except for that guy. I think we run into trouble with that one on hole 13 or so. But we'll see when we get there as we look at the 10th. We've been playing on or around this hill for the last 4 or 5 holes, and this one will be no different. Just 266 feet, plays just a bit longer than that. And you can just barely see it off in the distance there. Nice, gentle fade. More or less a straight shot that just finishes as you crawl up the hill. Or slide down it in that case. That'll give Shasta a look. 266. I'm going to say at least 280, maybe even 290 in terms of effective power. Teemu. Really blessed to see a pair of lefties on the card. And then 2 guys who rarely but can throw forehand. So I feel like you're getting a pretty good mix. Tournament director Aaron Herman fully engaged. Seriously? That's 9 in a row for Shasta. He missed a circle's edge putt on the very first hole, and that's been about it. All right. Friendly right side of basket. Gets that one to drop, and it appears to me we're lining up a star frame. The road there is kind of the main road that brings you actually into the park. As I was saying, from downtown Chiang Mai, you're looking at 30-ish minutes via scooter. We head over to 11. I was going to say this is really basic and straightforward, but yet there still is some challenge to this. You'll see most players thinking about going up and over these trees that kind of make this beautiful green to this pin. And you also see those white lines. That's because there was a major festival, I believe just a few days or a few weeks earlier, that was held out on these grounds. And so disc golf gets shut down while this big festival is going on. And I think there's always a scheduling conversation that has to happen as to tournaments taking place and then the grounds being used for other activities, such as huge festivals. There you go. I don't know what get lucky and finish is, but that seemed to work. Ten in a row for Shasta Criss. He's birdied everything since hole number 2. Off in the distance, you can actually see that's where they'll be throwing for their next hole, which is a par 4, the second par 4 on the course. I believe we have 3 par 4s in total. Trevor going through the motions. You don't want to take anything for granted, especially when you see someone like Shasta not making any mistakes. I mean, at this point, you're just hoping to hold on, thinking, man, don't run away from us. Give us a chance to keep you in our sights. And we'll see how this back 9 shakes out and see if that's even possible. This is the second of 3 rounds. And tomorrow, of course, I'll be offering up the final round of the tournament. For your viewing pleasure as we're watching a relatively short par 4, just 446 feet. I'm at the elbow, kind of the bend in order to, then you see me zooming in on the basket. You also see there is a Mando. So even at 446, I'm going to go ahead and say this is almost not accessible unless you're talking about a throw-in for eagle or some insane roller that magically misses everything after it's made the turn. That Mando sign has to be giving you Price is Right vibes, right? You know. I know you watch Price is Right. No matter how old you are, at some point you watch some Price is Right. Now, whether it was Bob Barker or Drew Carey as the host, that's another story. A good forehand. We'll see. He's going to probably have to deal with looking for an opening there or not. That's the question. Can he make up for it? Can he get the eagle on the hole to make up for the lone par he has? No. Solid birdie. And this is exactly what Trevor was worried about. Doesn't matter. Still able to stretch out enough to bury it. But having a few of those guardian trees on the left is the one thing you really need to avoid. I'm not going to lie, just watching this unfold makes me smile from ear to ear, thinking about the good people in Chiang Mai, the good people in Samui, and just everywhere I've been in Thailand. The love, the community. I've been spreading this word for 4 or 5 years since my first visit, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I wholeheartedly invite all of you to come partake in some of the action out here in Thailand, and it's only continuing to grow and flourish as we go to a difficult hole number 13. You have a little bit of a gap to hit off of the tee. There's not much out here in terms of things to worry about. However, it will play slightly uphill, and it feels longer than it probably is. And uh-oh. Not my idea, not my water bottle. I'm making full use of the zoom. Because I don't want to be anywhere near that. I'm not necessarily deathly afraid of spiders, but I don't need to mess with ones like that. Putting the rock in Lanna Rock's garden there, Shasta. And maybe more importantly, a rare opportunity for somebody on the card to gain a stroke. Can Trevor take advantage? Deep. Shasta hasn't given anyone a chance to get a stroke on him literally since hole number 1. That was the last time he parred. Can this finish? The answer is yes. The question is, how deep is it? The full flip up looks like I've gone pretty long. Here's Pichet going forehand. Saw the Southeast Asia Disc Golf Championship shirt that took place in Malaysia just 2 weeks earlier. I was there for that. Also saw Jönkkäri on the coverage there. So in my opinion, he's doing it right, as we're seeing just how far deep he's gone, though. Goes to Malaysia, then to the Samui Swine, and then to Chiang Mai. I was on that exact same itinerary. Trevor, the stepper, gets it. The birdie's great, but to get actually one on Shasta seems to be the taller task. So job well done. Pichet is in for the par. Big thanks to Pete and John and just everyone. I know I continue to talk about the community, but if it weren't for the disc golf community that's out here, we wouldn't have this course. So big thanks to everybody. And if you contributed in any way to helping support the coverage of these couple of rounds, I appreciate that as well. I know a few people stepped up. So thank you to all of them. Thank you to my Patreon subscribers. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. And I'll give something away. I don't know what it's going to be yet. You should probably start thinking about who you think is going to pull this off. As we head to the beautiful hole number 14, just 246 feet. This little river, dried up river, creek bed shouldn't come into play for any pros, but it's really just a tunnel shot straight down, hit the hard dirt, and then have a little bit of edge to it, maybe hit around circle's edge, and then skip to the pin. You don't want to carry over the road, though. That'll work. And as you can see, this is not... There's more room out here than what we saw over at, we'll say, Samui, but not maybe quite as much room as the Gymkhana course. However, this is not stretched out and going to absolutely break you when you come out. It's like some medium range shots, mid-ranges, maybe some fairways, an occasional driver. Just a really fun, good mix and making great use of the elevation. So far, I think we've only seen, what, 4 flat holes out of 14 that have been pretty flat. That was my count, 3, where we've seen him inside the circle and just hasn't been able to convert. And you can't be giving up those chances with the way Shasta's currently playing. Off to the left, that tee pad. Don't make the mistake of walking over there. That's hole number 16. I guess you can probably see it on the rocks, but it feels like the natural walk would be to go over there to 16, but we're going to actually go to the right to head over to 15 first. Shasta back with the birdies. 12 under through 14. Hole 15, just 3 feet longer than the previous hole. Well, yeah, somewhat of a similar shot shape with a few more options. You have OB up and to the right. That certainly can come into play, but I feel like you can get a little bit more creative with your shot shaping here. It's the putter for Shasta. Wasn't expecting that, but it works. I feel with his power, he could... Oh, no. That kicks out of bounds. I feel like you could even go high up and over that left side tree and then have it crash down. Kind of take that line, but on reverse. Oh, and that needed to be up a little bit higher. So Trevor is hung up. Short distance, and it's going to result in a par. OB comes in pretty quick on that right side, but as you can see, not too punishing. That seems to be Pichet's miss. High and or right. And clearly, it looks like Trevor's actually kept going. I don't know how I was confused thinking that it got totally hung up, but it continued to go. And Trevor's left with a short one. Going to wait for the distraction. A couple of motorbikes. And cashes it in for the birdie. So just 3 behind Shasta. He shot a 12 first round and is at 11 under right now for the round for Trevor. Pretty straightforward on hole number 16. One of the more open holes that we'll find. You find left side OB, and then you really just have to contend with these trees on the right. That's your number one concern. Of course, I forgot the name of the orange tree already, but one of the signatures. Look how it just pops off the screen at you, even in these somewhat toned down colors out here. The orange, however, popping off the screen. Somehow that's barely going to stay in bounds for Shasta. Oh, backdoor sneaking it through. Nice work by Trevor. Chance for Pichet to open up a little bit. More height than what was needed, but I love the idea. Just play it off to that left side. Let the power do the work. He just kind of lifted the nose, which brought the disc up too high. As you can see, Shasta just about 2 meters from the OB line and being pinched off here and trying to, I think, just protect a really solid round. I don't know that you're mad with a par here. There's much easier holes that you'd be frustrated with. Jönkkäri gets to 9 under for his round with that. He'll be within 4 of Shasta. Trevor, a chance to get back within 2. Almost time for some, maybe Leo or Tiger or something like that. We're pushing into the 5, 6 o'clock time frame or so. Chiang Mai, the second largest city in Thailand, of course, only second to Bangkok. You are missing out if you are not taking in the culture and everything that Chiang Mai has to offer. Big thanks to our friends at Distinguished Doodle. Use the code TheDiscGolfGuy and go find out what kind of massive discount you get over there if you use that code on their site for the Distinguished Doodle. Our last par 4, 482 feet. This one drivable, certainly can be eagled. I don't feel like that's necessarily the case on a couple of the other ones. But you do have a Mando. And what a line. That's largely the line you want, just with more power. Sets up great for a couple of power lefties. Is that enough power is the question. I love the low screamer like this because that's going to get ground play. Yeah, there it is. A couple of skips. That's where the lefty hyzer line is just so beneficial here, especially if you're keeping it low, playing for a skip or two. I don't think it's crazy to see someone like Shasta maybe even go backhand roller. Wouldn't be mad at that, but that shot even still gives him this long look for eagle. As you can see, this one's a relatively soft par 4. I don't know. Also gives you a little confidence as he tickles chains. Maybe a little bit of boost of confidence heading into the final hole. One that makes you feel good here. Trevor with an eagle look. To get one closer to Shasta. So he'll settle for the birdie. He'll move to 25. Shasta's going to move to 27. So Trevor started the day at 1 behind Shasta's, looking like heading into the final hole of the round, he's going to be 2 back of him. So ultimately, great golf being played all across the board here. Those two guys looking to pull ahead of the rest, though. Got Evan Boucher, who we've seen on coverage, doing some work. He's getting to double digits in his round. Kyle K shooting a hot round of 13 under. He just gets into the clubhouse. And the eagle, Teemu Jönkkäri, an eagle to get to 24. Final hole of the round. Just 19 holes left to play in the tournament. 282. You got to go through the triple Mando here. Straightforward. I'm going to say there's not a lot of tricks here, so to speak, or secrets. It's straight through. Straight through. Can you put yourself within putting distance? Trevor doesn't like it. Shasta steps up. Just 3 pars on the round. Sign down. Sign down.
It's such bad grip there. I should have fixed it. Dang. First time I've ever missed this.
And technically did not go past the Mando, so he does get to play it from there. There's a drop zone if you were to go past the Mando, but by hitting it and staying right there, he's not considered past it per event rules. But that's going to be likely a par here for Shasta. Trevor way off to the left side. Didn't love the tee shot. Oh, but he gets it. A big smile from out of position, and more importantly, pulls himself within 1 of the lead. This time, Pichet with an uncharacteristic low left side as opposed to high right side, which I called earlier. Wow, to go 4 under in the last 3 holes and to still very much be in the conversation. Shasta closes out. It's a 14 under. Again, thanks for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. Tell me who you think has this. We're going to see final round released tomorrow. I've got some giveaways, some great plastic, some jerky, some other good stuff. But thank you for joining as we're done with 2 rounds out of 3 at the Chiang Mai Open. Shasta Criss trying to hold off Trevor Harbolt. We'll see Jönkkäri and Pichet all tomorrow for the final 4. We'll see you there.